In this video, I'm going to be covering all of the top pros and cons of living in Oak Forest, Illinois. If you've had any thoughts of moving to Oak Forest or living in Oak Forest, stick around for this entire video because I'm going to be covering all the bases on what's important to know with regard to pros and cons of living in Oak Forest. If you're new to this channel, my name is John Sintich. Thanks for stopping by. I'm your go-to Chicagoland realtor in the south suburbs, and I'm your guide to building wealth through buying and selling real estate. Let's just get right into it. The first pro of living in Oak Forest is that it is cheap relative to the other surrounding suburbs. A median single-family home in Oak Forest is going to run you about $280,000. Now, depending on who's watching this, that might sound super expensive, it might sound super cheap. It's all relative, but relative to the surrounding suburbs, it is much cheaper to purchase property in Oak Forest, and it's a nice area. So you get to live in a nice, quiet, safe area for a little bit of a discount compared to like Tinley Park, Orland Park, Payless, and those surrounding suburbs. I should note that at the time of this video, the median single-family home price is about $280,000. If you're watching this 12 months later, it's going to be probably more expensive as real estate naturally appreciates over time. So don't bite my head off if you're watching this in November of 2023 and the median sales price is maybe $290,000, $300,000. Now for our first con of living in Oak Forest, it's the property taxes. In the suburbs of Chicago, the property taxes they're higher. It's a common complaint amongst Illinois residents. Illinois is very well known for being a heavily taxed state. It's one of the worst in the nation. So if you're moving here for cheap property taxes, you're in the wrong place. That is just how it is here. Property taxes are higher than most areas, and you're going to be paying that in Oak Forest as well. Oak Forest is no exception to that rule. Depending on how you feel about taxes will be how you interpret that information. Now, pro number 2 of living in Oak Forest, it is a super fun place to live for young professionals. Like I said, you can buy a house for relatively cheap here. Median sales price of a single family home is $280,000. There are lots of growing families in Oak Forest. If you look around, you're going to see a lot of young people with little children walking around. It's a great place to start your family and raise your family. And as a young professional, you can also really enjoy Oak Forest. There are plenty of bars and restaurants to go to. Spoiler alert, my wife grew up in Oak Forest, so I've spent a fair bit of time frequenting those establishments myself. If you need a recommendation for a bar or restaurant in Oak Forest, please let me know. I'll be glad to point you in the right direction. I'll probably sit down and have a drink with you. Basically, if you go up and down Cicero from, we'll say like 143rd to 159th, there's at least 10 places you can go to sit down, have a great time, some good food. And then along 159th Street as well, there are tons of food options, retail shopping, restaurants, bars, shops, everything you need, all there in Oak Forest. And that draws in a younger crowd. So again, if you're a young professional, it's a great place to live. It's close to the city. It's a half an hour drive. There's metro stations that can take you right into the city. So if you don't want to live in the city, you work in the city, Oak Forest is a great option, cheaper to buy there, and you're very close to the city. Con number 2, it's going to be weather. Any video on my channel that goes over the pros and cons of a given suburb, this is going to be the con, spoiler alert, for all of them. The weather sucks in the Midwest, and Oak Forest is no exception. 5 months out of the year, it's going to be cold, it's going to be gross. At the time of recording this video, it is November 12th, and we're starting to get cold. It's 34 degrees today, it's windy. We are getting ready to batten down the hatches for the winter. So for the next several months, until probably March or April of 2023, it's not going to be fun to be outside really, unless you're sledding or playing with your kids or building a snowman or like snow plowing or shoveling. If you find those things fun, boom, you're going to have a good time in Oak Forest because it's about to get cold. I'll segue that into a bonus pro. The summer in Oak Forest is phenomenal. You just get more of an appreciation of summer in the Midwest, and this weather starts to turn. You're going to see a lot of those young professionals I was talking about, outside grilling, playing beanbags, having fun, getting after it. As bad as the weather is in the winter, it's that good in the summer. All right, so pro number 3 is schools. According to niche.com, Oak Forest has an A- school rating. So the public schools in Oak Forest, for being a cheaper place where you can buy property for a little bit of a cheaper price, has great schools relative to the price of a home in Oak Forest. My wife went to Oak Forest High School. She turned out all right, depending on the day that you talk to me. Just kidding. Love you, honey. Don't hurt me. And then con number 3 is going to be walkability, or lack thereof. You have to drive to all the shops and businesses in Oak Forest. You can't really walk from your house to a business. So if you're coming from the city where you can step outside your home, walk 20 feet and be in a grocery store or a bar or a restaurant or a clothing store, is not the case in Oak Forest. You have to get in your car and you have to drive to get to where you want. So just keep that in mind if you're someone that prefers walking to stores and restaurants and bars and things like that from your property. It's going to be a little bit different here in Oak Forest. Overall, Oak Forest is a great suburb to explore if you're looking to purchase a single family home. Like I said, cheaper homes, good schools, great for young professionals, transportation into the city is easy, it's close to the city. Definitely consider it if you're exploring the south suburbs of Chicago as a place to live. I certainly didn't cover everything in this video. I try to keep these relatively short enough so that they're tolerable to watch. So if you have more specific questions, you can leave a comment, you can email me, you can text me. All my contact information is below in the description. I actually grew up around Oak Forest. Like I said, my wife is from Oak Forest. I know the area very well, like the back of my hand. I can answer any questions you have about it. If you're unfamiliar with the area, you're looking at the person that can help you with that. If you found the content of this video helpful, useful to you, valuable in some way, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, like the video. It will help blast my content out to more people that might benefit from seeing it, and it'll make me feel good about myself. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, my name is John Sintich. I'm your go-to Chicagoland realtor in the south suburbs of Chicago, and I'm your guide to building wealth through buying and selling real estate. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.